Well, welcome back, Workshop Maniacs, Toolaholics, OCD freaks, or anyone else who will enjoy this video. Today I'm going to be talking about what I use for small part storage, what I like, what I don't like. I kind of have them semi-divided up right here, what I'm phasing out, what I don't like, versus what I do like. Coincidentally, all the stuff I do like comes from Home Depot. And I think that's just mainly because I live 20 miles away from 3 different Home Depots, each a different direction away, so I end up going to whichever Home Depot is in the direction I'm headed. I do know we didn't get a Harbor Freight around here till the last couple of years. I think if we would have had one longer ago, I might have had some of those boxes in my collection. But being that as I am a bit of an OCD freak about how I store and organize stuff, I kind of don't want to change from the boxes that I'm using, to tell you the truth. And the boxes I'm using, I do really like. Some of the first ones I started using, and these are only the ones that are still in my collection. This thing was kind of a no-name brand. I almost think I bought this at Walmart years ago, and this was pretty good for like a long time. The one thing though is being cheap. It's got this style of latches on them. And as you can see, like my bottom 2 boxes, those latches broke off over time. So they're not good for storing stuff that you go into or use a lot. One thing I did like about this style of box is it had a carrying case, you could carry it around with you. Being that this is technically a tackle box, but you could also hang it on the wall. There was mounting to hang it on the wall. That's the way I used it for several years. Now this is a pretty old box. I probably bought this box 20 years ago, and it's lived different lives for different purposes and over the years. But now I'm getting to a point in life where it's starting to fail. I'm going to retire it. Another box. Initially, I really like this box. It's a Plano box. Plano makes good stuff, especially fishing gear boxes. The problem with Plano is they're expensive. But overall, as far as storage goes, this was wonderful. You have a spot up here for little parts. And then down here, you have plenty of room for mass storage. You can take all these little dividers you can take out and just fill up to your heart's content. Ultimately, why I don't have more of these boxes is one, because I don't remember where the heck I bought this, and I've never seen these for sale anywhere else. So I must have been just randomly walking through some store and I seen this, and it must have been a tool store at some point, because this is not marketed for fishing stuff. Because as you can see, what they're showing here in the picture is like wire nuts and stuff like that. This was a toolbox they have it marketed for. So I'm thinking I bought it in some type of home improvement store or something like that. I don't know, a hardware store. But the main reason, getting back to the main reasons why I do not like this box is, one is it costs a lot, being Plano, and I just don't like the latch system on these things. Or this is going to be added to the garage sale pile too. Well, actually, it's been in the garage sale pile. I need to get around to actually having a garage sale one of these days. Box number 2, which I have quite a few of these, and these were the first boxes I seen for sale in various places around here. That kind of got me into this style of storage. Made by Stanley, of course. They come in 3 different sizes. This is the medium size. There's a smaller size and there's a larger size, but generally, at least the stores around here, you don't often see the 2 other sizes. This is kind of like the main size everyone carries. There is a lot of different compartments for storing your knickknacks and whatever. And you got some dividers that are removable and some are not, which is kind of why I'm getting away from these things, because, like a box like what I have this one laid out for, the different nuts and bolts and whatever, it works fine for, but in other situations I like more configurability, I guess is what you say. And plus, these boxes aren't cheap. I want to say these things, you'll see them anywhere from like $11 up to about $15. So the fact that these aren't as configurable and they cost more is kind of why I've been fading these out over the years. In fact, I probably haven't bought a box like this in 7-8 years now. But this is kind of what the main ones, when they first started coming out with this style of box, what I was grabbing up. And they also Stanley also makes I should have brought that out too. One that's more like this DeWalt Milwaukee box, but I think DeWalt Milwaukee does a better version of it than Stanley does, to be honest with you. Compared to like these other boxes, the latches on this are somewhat undesirable, but I think this style of latch is better than what these boxes are. And plus, these are stackable, which I haven't made up my mind if I like the whole idea of all this stuff that stacks together or not yet, to be truthful. But if you're not going to stack them, you can flip these up. If like you were going to throw this in your car or something, it makes the top more secure, so it's not going to come off. But there is a bit of flex in this style of top, so you could still possibly lose stuff out of it, but it's better than nothing. So now we come to the two Husky offerings that I have. I use these for like these are the style of boxes I like when I want small pore storage and the ability to put it inside of another toolbox. I think these are perfect. Now these did come in a smaller size, and I think the reason why I never got into the smaller sizes was the dividers were not removable, if I remember right. And I like the ability to change up the boxes to suit my needs, to be truthful. But the reason why this was in the out pile is I cannot find these at Home Depot anymore. As certain stores still carry them, but for the most part, it seems like they're trying to phase this out for this box. So I did pick up one of these boxes just to try one out, and right now I'm currently using it to store my bits in for that Milwaukee pack-out system that you seen in an earlier video. And it's okay. I mean, it fits good for where this box lives within that pack-out system, because there's plenty of room in those boxes. It is a bit longer, which I guess has its good and bads. Like I said, it all like for what I use these kind of boxes for, I would much prefer this size, but for where I'm using this box currently, it works good for that. I do kind of like the heavy gear latches it has on it, although these aren't bad. I've never had any problems with these breaking or coming undone or anything. So this brings us to the two HDX boxes in my collection. I have many of each of these two styles in my collection. This box right here is kind of what I'm phasing out the Stanley boxes for, and the reason why I'm phasing them out is overall I think it's slightly a sturdier construction. I like the latch system on it way better, and it's more configurable. The dividers that you cannot remove are all on one side instead of taking up a big chunk in the middle. So you can remove all these orange ones, and if you want to put something big in there, you can. Like previously, before I bought my Milwaukee pack-out system, I had one of these boxes that had all my hole saws in. You can get a 4-inch hole saw in these, plus all the other little sizes and whatever, and it worked out good for that. And of course, like everything else these days, you can stack them together and do whatever. Now these are the best value too. At Home Depot, these come in a pack of 2 for $11.99. So basically $6 a box for these things. That's a good deal. Even these double-sided ones, these ones I like to set up for as boxes that I take to job sites or whatever. Like this box is, I call this my cabinet box because it has shelf supports in it, like different kinds of screws for mounting hardware and hinges and whatnot. And on this side, it's just random wood screws I would need and other various parts for fixing stuff on the job. I also have a box set up for electrical, which has all the different like staples and wire nuts and a couple electrical testing devices, like my NV non-contact voltage tester and an outlet tester and other stuff like that. And I think I have another one set up for plumbing. But because they're double-sided, you don't necessarily need to fill these up with every screw you own of that style. Typically, you don't need all that much stuff if you're just going to go to a customer's house, fix something, or set something up for them, or whatever. So these boxes work nice. You can have a nice sampling of whatever you might need, in a nice, pretty compact form factor, if you ask me. When it comes to mass storage, that's where these two boxes shine, in my opinion. Now, for the most part, these two boxes are the exact same box. With the advantage being, I would say, to the Milwaukee, and that's more of a personal preference of mine more than anything. I just prefer the squared out layout and the flip up handle versus the handle that's already molded in. I just feel it's a better layout. Now I noticed this is a new one that I haven't used yet. This has a gasket in here. My older ones do not have a gasket, so DeWalt must have started putting gaskets in here to compete with the Milwaukee version. The boxes on the Milwaukee are a little bit more sturdy and more robust than the chintzy ones of the DeWalt. One thing I just noticed, this box right now has all the small ones, and I must have took the two bigger ones out, so otherwise they're basically the same layout. They have 2 big boxes and 8 smaller boxes. You can configure all this stuff between your boxes however you want with either one of these systems. To tell you the truth, I wouldn't be surprised if both of these same boxes roll out of the same factory, because they're that similar. I think overall the fit and finish on the Milwaukee is slightly better than the one on the DeWalt. Now these boxes are going to range you. Now the 3 different Home Depots in my area, these things range in price greatly. They can be anywhere from $17 up to $24. Expect to pay anywhere in between that. You can get these on Amazon, but I believe both boxes are $24 on there. Don't quote me on that. So there we go. This is a sampling of what I like and don't like when it comes to small part storage. Well, thanks all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, why don't you go down below and do all the things you're supposed to do down below? Like subscribe, like, dislike, leave a comment. Tell me your preferred method of storing small parts, and I'll talk to you guys later.